we won't treat Neymar any differently from any of the other 10 or 11 world-class players that Barcelona have on the team. Looking back on the game, it's the first time I saw Neymar play live, and I was very impressed. I think he'll be a wonderful addition to the Barcelona team. He's very, very talented, but I stand by what I said on the evening, that I did think he made more of the contact that was necessary. However, you know, Scott knows that he was in the wrong, and he has served his punishment, and I think he's looking very much forward to playing tomorrow. No, I wouldn't say he's doing it all the time at all. I think in that particular instant, then maybe it was a little exaggerated, you know, looking back on the contact. But I'm not going to take away the fact that Neymar is, and it looks like he's going to be a very special player. And like I said, the first time I'd seen him close up at Celtic Park on that evening, I was very impressed by his ability, his pace, and what he brought to the Barcelona attack. And I think if he stays in that vein, which I'm sure he will, he's going to be a fantastic player for club and country. I think there's a little bit of immaturity at times with all young players. And we see it at times in Britain as well, where they tend to exaggerate contact. But that's okay. I think he'll gain a lot more respect as he goes along in his career once he learns to deal with that in the right way. However, it's not a major criticism of the player. That's what I want to say, is that he's a wonderful talent, and I think he's going to light up the footballing world over the next 5 to 10 years.
Neil, how much did that suspension affect Celtic's campaign?
Well, it hurt us because he's our captain, and he's certainly a leader on and off the field. And there's no question his absence was missed in the corresponding 3 games that he had to serve the ban. But that's history now. This is a game where there's a great sense of occasion to it, no matter what the circumstances are. There's great anticipation among the players and our supporters, and myself, and it's one that we're very much looking forward to, because there's great respect between both clubs. I think both have you know, great traditions and a great affiliation with each other.
How much is the off-field stuff that's going on with the Celtic fans in the last week or so? How much has that affected preparations, and how disappointed are you? It's taken away from a couple of really good performances by Celtic. That's
just put a negative on it. You know, like, our supporters are the best in the world, bar none. We've had a few problems of late that the club are trying to deal with as swiftly and best they can, but that's not going to take away the fantastic support we have, not just in Britain, but around the world, and the great relationships that our supporters forge with other clubs, and none bigger than the respect that both sets of supporters have for each other here. So I'm very much looking forward to the atmosphere as much as the game tomorrow, because I think it'll be a great occasion.
Were the club, Neil, left with no option but to go through with what they did yesterday? Well,
you have to ask the club that. You know, I think there was an inevitability about it, and they've dealt as quickly and decisively, and the best way that they think going forward.
As far as the game's concerned tomorrow, Neil, you're obviously missing Emilio Izaguirre through suspension. How problematic is that, if at all, given obviously you can put Charlie Mulgrew potentially back in there?
Yeah, well, it does give us a selection problem. There's no question of that. Emilio's been in fantastic form, and has played these Champions League games very, very well. He's back to his very, very best, so losing him is a blow to us. We have got Charlie, we've got options, we've got Adam Matthews back and fit as well, so he'll come into contention for a starting place as well.
Do you feel that what we saw on Friday, is that perhaps in some ways an argument against the SFA's proposal? And they came out a couple of months ago talking about the idea that they would look again at potentially reintroducing alcohol into football stadiums in Scotland. Do you think that's a kind of nail in the coffin against that?
Well, it certainly doesn't help. It was an idea that was mooted to try and bring a little more flavour to the atmosphere of games. But with it being a Friday night game, you know, I'm not I have no sort of proof that there was a lot of alcohol involved. You know, I don't have all the facts in front of me, but it certainly doesn't help, put it that way.
Are you a favour of Friday night games in principle if they can be managed properly?
Yeah, I like Friday night games. I experienced them myself as a player, and I think the players enjoyed the occasion, and you could see that with the way they played. It was a spectacular performance on Friday evening. So we hope that's not the end of it. I think he'd be a good goalkeeper for any team, but I'm hoping he's going to be at Celtic for, you know, a little bit longer. It's very complimentary that he is being linked with clubs and players like Alexis Sanchez are talking about him in such high esteem. It shows the progress that he's made at Celtic over the last 3 years, to the point where he is now capped by England. We're delighted with the form he's shown, and particularly in the Champions League, he's performed brilliantly. And he's at an age of 24, 25, where he's still not reached his peak, and his best years of goalkeeping are ahead of him. And I hope that's with Celtic.
How important is it, Neil, that you guys go out of this competition on a high?
Yeah, it's important. It's important not just for the context of this year's campaign, but looking to next year as well. Obviously, we will have qualifiers again in July, but 3 points I think is not enough, and I think we deserve more out of the group. But we're going to have to play very, very well tomorrow night. I watched the rerun of Barca playing in Bilbao, and although they lost the game, some of the football was fantastic. We're going to need great discipline and great concentration tomorrow night, and great athleticism, and we have to be brave on the ball. And even then, that may not be enough. But what I want to see is an all-round performance from the team, that we can come away with some satisfaction from the game, if not the result that we want.